Our dollar is rapidly losing its reserve currency status because we've weaponized it against other countries. When we disagree with the policies of another country, we kick them off the SWIFT system and we debank them. As a predictable result of that strategy, the BRICS nations are now in the process of de-dollarizing by getting off the petrodollar. They realize that trading their commodities and other hard resources for money that is printed out of thin air is a losing proposition. This trend will likely accelerate until we make the tough transition toward backing our debt obligations with hard assets again. I have a plan to strengthen the US dollar and lower the interest rates and neutralize our $34 trillion debt by backing US Treasury bills, notes, and bonds with hard assets, including a combination of precious metals and Bitcoin. Backing U.S. debt obligations by collateralizing them with hard assets not only restores strength to the dollar, it reins in inflation, and it will usher in a new era of American financial stability, prosperity, and peace. The world needs to believe that we have safely handcuffed our government and its ability to create money out of thin air with no proof of work. The innovative strategy that I'm proposing leverages the scarcity and liquidity of Bitcoin, along with gold and other hard assets, to restore the dollar's dominance in global finance. The world will rush to adopt an American-backed, decentralized currency that cannot be confiscated by governments, that can be traded and transacted on cell phones at the speed of light across every global border with no banking fees or other transactional friction. This incorruptible currency will immediately start pulling wealth and assets from every other nation around the globe back into the United States, restoring the strength of our dollar and repairing our balance of payments. 6 months before his assassination, my uncle President John F. Kennedy, signed an executive order that put silver coins in competition with the notes issued by the Fed. His intention was to rein in Fed discretion. He had been a critic of Fed policy, and he hoped to end the discretionary monetary policy and the inevitable debasement of the US dollar. He understood that a highly leveraged economy leads directly to the destructive kind of wealth inequality that is today eroding American democracy and generating violence and division and discontent and hopelessness. Notably, after my uncle's assassination, the government immediately stopped issuing those silver coins and power returned to the Fed. My uncle apparently understood the potential for the Fed to evolve itself into a tyranny. Bitcoin has the potential to return monetary discipline to the Fed and to restore the dollar as the unchallenged global reserve currency.
Goes out to the year 2045. What do I think will happen? Well, I've got a bear case and a bull case, but what I think will happen is that 55% ARR goes to 50%, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. It's between 50 and 20. It'll gradually decelerate till it's growing about twice as fast as the S&P index. And at that rate, Bitcoin's $13 million a coin in the year 2045. 13 million. It could be a 3 million bear case. It could be a 49 million bull case. But what is Bitcoin? 7% of the world's assets then.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Sonali Basak. Sonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids' books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now we have Bitcoin and crypto up. And guys, we know on the weekend we're the only game in town. And we have Trump in the house today. Don't forget, 2 p.m. Central Time. We had some good conversations yesterday, and I'm going to go over that later. But guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We had yield rates on Friday down. We had the dollar down. We had volume in crypto down. And we had Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $381 billion. Make sure you're pulling that on a daily basis during the week. And we know the Fed is keeping rates higher for longer in order to destroy the global economy. And that's the reason why these central banks are moving in lockstep. And by them destroying the legacy global economy, it allows them to bring in the new digital economy, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. But like I stated, yesterday we had some good conversations at the Bitcoin conference. And one of the great ones was Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Even though we know he's a part of the plan, but it's nothing like hearing the truth. And if you have the NWO book, you know you heard the truth. Because we know that John F. Kennedy did an executive order to take us off the money printer and back the dollar with silver. And of course, he gets the kapow, and the money printer keeps moving. And when you go back to the 50s to the 70s, you had a whole lot of kapows that changed history forever. And today, we rarely even hear of it because people actually don't care. They can care less that someone actually put their life on the line for them. But we know over these next 3 to 5 years, they're definitely going to care. Remember, it's the elder's job to teach. If you're not teaching, you're not doing your job. Nas said one of the greatest lines in music. If you have gray hair, that means you've seen something, so say something. It doesn't matter if you don't think you have any knowledge. The fact is, if you're in your 50s all the way up to 80s, 90s, you've seen a lot, and it's your job to teach the youth. We have old people staying quiet, and not only staying quiet because of the C word, they're sitting in the house doing nothing but watching TV. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, it is absolutely ridiculous. And this nation is going to pay the price. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, we have the spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs on Friday all up. BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. And of course, guys, we have Grayscale has $1.5 billion in outflows. And who's getting inflows? That's right, BlackRock. And we've seen this movie before. Remember, guys, it is definitely all planned out. Remember, we don't follow what they say. We follow the money. And you're going to win every single time. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And getting over into a little crypto news, we have the one topic. We have Trump in the house. And we know he's going to go over the economy, all the debt that we have. And again, he's nothing but a puppet for the NWO. But he's going to tell the truth at this Bitcoin conference. But don't forget, he did the executive orders for all this AI. He did the executive orders for FinTech. He started the money printer for the C word that caused all this inflation. Everything started with Trump. He just passed it down to Biden. So it doesn't matter whether it's Democrat or Republican. Remember, the bird needs both wings to fly. Yes, they're going to play the Hegelian dialectic like they're against each other. but they're there to move the NWO's agenda. And don't forget what Biden stated a long time ago. If you want to run for president, if you want to run for any type of election, you need a lot of money. And those people that are giving you a lot of money, they want something in return. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, before the NWO can bring in all these machines, we have to have a crisis. And that's the reason why we're going to see these drums getting louder. And guys, at the Olympics, they made a mockery of the Last Supper. Now, guys, we know if this was in the East, there would definitely be problems. And a lot of people forget this is planned a long time ago, 8 years ahead of time. To do something like that on a global stage, we know they were sending a message. And the message was, these are the final days of Babylon. And you're definitely going to hear these drums get louder. And this is biblical. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows, when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.